welcome to the You Had to Be There podcast. Today, man, we got award-winning producer Ricky P with us,
Ricky
man.
P, the
We
one
always
and
been
only, the
chopping it up.
nigga in the mirror can't even clone me. I'm with my boy Ep11 and Bubbles. And guess what? This conversation is going to put a lot of motherfuckers in trouble.
We just letting him go because he gives us $1 million worth of game in a minute already. You know what I'm
But
saying?
once again, it's about information. It's about information. It's not even game because I'm not even trying to play you. You feel me? Like, what's the whole point? We're on the same street. We're on the same highway. We're on the same mission. So what the fuck is I should be sitting here spinning, motherfucker?
Diamond Plaque producer. One of my good friends from out of Pittsburgh, Ricky P. How you doing today, sir?
I am great. I just hit this wax pen. I'm in the Kush Factory Studios. I'll clarify it. I'm a diamond engineer, producer. Most of my biggest accolades are through engineering. But, I went from the diamond building to my own goddamn place where I have custom Augsburgers and all that stuff. Well, thank you for having me. We had a great discussion earlier briefly. I know a lot of people probably took our energy different, but they don't understand. I know you from when you used to have the beat, like it's like 15, 18 fucking beats on the CD type shit. You was the first nigga out here sell a beat CD for like $25, like 18 beats, 20 beats, like shit was like the wildest shit I ever seen in my life. Like nigga come up, start rapping, then after the show, like, oh, you rap? You need some beats? Nigga sell that shit. Like, actually one of the first niggas I actually seen kind of like rap, record motherfuckers, make beats. Like, you was kind of one of the first niggas because there really wasn't too many niggas you could go record with whenever we first started making music.
From Northside, North Hills area, correct?
Half my family from Manchester, other half from Northview Heights. Went to Shaler High School because, what I'm saying? That's right up the hill. And because my parents put their cheese together to try to, like, make a motherfucker do the shit. But I'm one of those motherfuckers that came in the game, shot clean the fuck out. Like, I didn't have $1 to my name type shit, bro. Like, I dropped out of college freshman year. I was 18. My parents gave me 14 months, bro. My mom left, and then my dad kicked me out the crib because I was hanging with some wild shout out niggas from the north. Shout out my boy Joey Fats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was just, like, shit. I seen these niggas. I was showing up at these random ass studio sessions and shit, wet behind the ears. And, and that's why I ran into Ep11. And I shit you not, that first year I was up for a Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards. Motherfucker, it was for one of the JSP little joint that I did. Shout out my boy Corio. That's one of my Mount Rushmore 4 of best friends. Fuck even like music shit, but like I'll never forget it. Mr. Muhammad, R.I.P. Mr. Muhammad and shit like that. I went to the bathroom. I seen this nigga pay for the actual award that I was up for. I came back to the table and I was like, yo, they were about to sit there. I know who won that shit. They thought I was shot out. Whenever they said that nigga name, they was like, oh, damn, you was right. They're like, you ain't mad? I said, hell no. I want no Pittsburgh Hip Hop Award. I want goddamn Grammys, nigga. And everybody looked at me like,
right.
The fuck is wrong with this kid? What the fuck is he saying? Grammys, nigga, dude? Like, nigga, shut your ass up. We about to go, like, you know what I'm saying? We about to hit the trap after this. Like, you know what I'm saying? We go to Trappers over there in the east side. That's from education and leaving. That's why I kept asking you earlier in your live, because you were having a discrepancy, because it's the predecessory where I say it's the entry level musicians gripe. Rappers need beats. They always want to hit up producers. They have to understand producers are sole proprietors. If you ever read the Robert Kiyosaki Rich Dad Poor Dad series, it's 4 sectors in capitalism that you can make money: employee, sole proprietor, business owner, or investor. And as a producer, you are a sole proprietor. You are selling services. So some of these rappers, they don't understand. It's not just a beat. It's my service. I put time into this. That beat is that yard that I cut. I'm a landscaper. That beat is how I cut the yard. Now, sometimes I come into nice neighborhoods, if it's a good artist, if it's somebody that's worth something, if I got to go into the nice neighborhood in Swickley, I might cut that yard for free right now. Because I know if I cut this yard, how I cut this yard, bitch gonna start paying me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we're over there in Wilkinsburg, you really need me to cut your yard, like, bro, come on, like, you know, like.
Yeah, I'm waxing
At
you.
least
I'm
I gotta
waxing you.
charge you, bro. And it's like you're looking at me like it's strange, and it's like we can't get mad because it's like it's the dialogue. Because you know I might be award-winning Ricky P, but I also have a BeatStars, and I work with BeatStars officially, where I have beats on there you can lease for fucking $15, $35, $50. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because there are still beats that I might not give a fuck. You know, when you're a producer, it takes about 4 or 5 to warm up till you start making them kind of ones. Them 4 and 5, that could be some young niggas like, you know, come up. Or that could be some type of beat that at least can stir his mind to be like, yo, at least Ricky P kind of fucking with me. And this can be a way that we could bridge some type of business. If these little fuck faces would just ask you, well, how much do you want for this motherfucker? The least they could do is just respond and maybe in the middle or just try to start negotiating. But they're so fearful because there's no business practice that's done. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like I was asking, it's like, well, why, like, you know this already. Why entertain it? If anything, just navigate them. Because I always was compared to the Stevies and stuff like that. And I'd always tell people, go get that Stevie. If you need that Stevie, that's a Stevie. Like, if you need stuff like shit, you can go on YouTube. I don't even hate on niggas. Lil TJ got 3 fucking like platinum songs off of fucking YouTube beats. If you listen to Lil TJ songs, all them beats is from YouTube. I shit you not. I did a whole 8-hour session with that little nigga. Every beat he said, yo, load up the Lil TJ type beat, blah, 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 and typed it in, download that shit. Like, there's so many ways in this game you can do it. It doesn't matter. This is 2023. You know how much stuff there is to sit here and get around that stuff? But
what you're saying is we can start from, me and you can start from downtown, right? And we can both take, we could take 376 and one could take 28. As long as we both get the Penn Hills, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. If I go out 28, if I go out 376, it don't fucking matter because we're always going to do is cut across and we're going to meet anyway. It's really like, bro, like, unfortunately in the Pittsburgh game, there are a lot of people that did their thing, but like there's a lot of people that really just was only there in the city, bro. And it's like, what are we talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you listen to a lot of people that did their thing, but to what tenacity? And that's the only thing that I have a gripe about. Because, like, you know, you can't sit there and say you can't talk about somebody's accolades. Because I wasn't talking about accolades. I was talking about stats. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we talk stats, I'm one of them niggas. But, like, if we're going to talk about accolades, I'm going to get lost in the riff. You could talk about Stevie, fucking Big Germ, whole bunch of motherfuckers got bigger stigmas than all that shit. But if we're talking about facts and stats, then that's whenever people kind of get a little personal because then it goes into outcome. And I feel like there's a lot of people that did their thing, but they're not utilizing their force. Why is it Dice out here putting on, since he has a studio and stuff like that, why is he not doing, like, working with some of these people? He's still there. There's niggas that are still in the city. I come back to the city. There's a lot of people. Scarlo, there's Hardo, there's what's his face? Sticks. There's a lot of people that come in. I still work hand to hand. Don't even charge none of these people. If you can call Carlo right now. It's never been about change because I understand what it needs to happen. But where are these people at when I leave? Because when I leave, I hear what goes on in the city. There's a lot of malpractice when it comes to business. I can point people because really you should only go to ID Labs if you're trying to be serious. ID Labs is the only place that's a studio with quality A1 equipment. Unfortunately, the big dog, he is a big dog. So he has other people that are down there that it's like, it's the same Pittsburgh shit. Everybody tries to get money off of each other. And the people that only got money or people got to risk their fucking lives. Only buying beats off me with strap niggas. And they got to do something strange for that fucking piece of change, motherfucker. They got to risk their life. And it's like, come on, man. So it's like the community doesn't want to open up the doors and be like, yo, let's work. Instead, it's like business and hate. And it's like, yo, niggas ain't really got that much bread. And it shouldn't be about that. Because if you really go and get a publishing deal as a producer, they sit you in a whole bunch of fucking sessions. You're not getting paid for that fucking beat. You're not. In the real fucking industry, in the NFL of music, that's how it fucking goes. That's why you have managers to handle the business. But, like, we have too many people that will sit here and just start barking and try to compete. And I'm just like, man, where are those niggas? Like, why isn't, niggas that are still in the city over here helping niggas out in the city?
Tell the viewers, if you can, You know what I'm saying? How you got your start off with Wiz? Because we all know Wiz. Pittsburgh is small. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of you and Wiz for going as far as y'all did. I'm very proud of y'all. I went from battling Wiz. You remember? I battled Wiz, and now all of a sudden he's a multi-million-dollar man. So now I'm very proud of that. So what?
My role is like, cause he was popping. I was friends with Will. Will, the Connor Taylor gang. He manages Wiz. That's been my homie since like high school shit. So I just knew him,
Right.
and Chevy. That's my cousin. Me and him was working mainly.
Right.
Like he was coming down to Diamond Building and shit like that. We was working. And to be honest with you, Wiz had his own shit. We was always just cool. He fucked with me because I always had my own car, had my own weed, and I knew how to make music, but I never talked about music. I was just like, yo, it's like, fuck, like, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas over here on his top. I'm just over here chilling. You know what I'm saying? Me and Chevy kept going down to Atlanta, and they kept seeing, like, out of nowhere, like, you know, I would just go with him, like, and just be down in Atlanta working with him for, like, a week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trapping it out in the hotel, same hotel room type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be sleeping on the cot. 2013. Because 2012 I started like flying out to LA because Wiz started seeing me just go out of nowhere, like, you know what I'm saying, just go out of town. So I seen that I had to start going out to LA because that's where it's either LA or New York, and New York cold as fuck, just like Pittsburgh. So he wanted to go on the road. Big Germ didn't want to go on the road no more because they got arrested on tour down in North Carolina. And Big Germ, he'll tell you, he ain't about none of that life. When he found out he got arrested, he said, fuck you niggas. Like type shit. Like he didn't say nothing, but after they got out, all that shit, he's like, you niggas, no. I ain't going on the road with you niggas. No, I'm not getting arrested and having to sit in jail for a few days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Big Germ was not about that life. Those opportunities were like, he asked me to go on the road. On the road for 3.5 months. I took $1,000 and I got paid per diem. So that means I just got free. I got 3 free meals, and like, you know, every week you get like $500. So I pretty much like took because if you equal that out, bro, like that's like $65 a day that I was getting to go on the road to sit there and be his road engineer. And I'll shit you not, first song
and this for Chevy,
I was
right?
on the road for Chevy, but like literally it was like we was doing that for a few months, and then Wiz seen that he needed a road engineer, so he asked me to go on the road with him, like on tour. Like, I never even like recorded this nigga at all. First song we recorded on the tour bus. It was like a rap feature for Chevy. No, a breeze. I'm used to that. Bitch, the second time I had to record that nigga was in Quad Studio, historic in fucking Manhattan.
Yeah.
We had Schoolboy Q, Absol, we had Smoke Dizza, Julie Greinberg from fucking Atlantic. We had Kaiser from Atlantic. And Nas's brother and that shit. Bro, it was the funniest shit. And I tell motherfuckers, this is why the game is not for everybody. Because I was sitting there recording this nigga and I had to sit there and use auto-tune. And I thought I was jiggy with auto-tune, but I never really recorded a nigga who really knew his shit. That's what I knew Wiz was like. There's a reason why Wiz went somewhere. It's because that nigga was a professional. He understood how to be a fucking artist in their studio and have like some etiquette. And I fucked the note up, bro. Right. I shit you not, this nigga told me stop. And when I say, he said, you can hear a pin drop in Manhattan. This nigga said, are you good? I said, yeah, I'm good. He's like, no. Are you good? Because right now, I don't sound like how I'm supposed to sound. He came out the booth after that. He's like, you know, I ain't trying to like sit there and try to talk crazy to you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the owners of fucking Atlantic. They're here. They need a feature. They need me to do this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to hear that you don't know something right now. Because like, I know you don't know something right now. I'm not asking you to do that.
Because you playing with the church's money at that point.
Nigga, don't fuck the plate up. Don't fuck the plate up. If you ain't got nothing to donate, pass the fucking plate.
He wasn't asking about your emotional body.
He wasn't saying
are you good?
He needed me to be a fucking award-winning producer, engineer. Nigga, right. I just need you to get me to do this right now. I don't need you to think about nothing. I know. It's Wiz Khalifa. We're in the same place Tupac got shot. I know. It's a lot going on. You got the big dogs of Atlanta. Right. There's all these other rap niggas in here. Like, I know. You're used to these random Scooby-Doo apps from Pittsburgh. It's a local joker. When I went on the road, I was still smart to a dumb nigga. I was nice in the city, but if you go to LA, there's a million of you.
Like, I seen your talent. I always did. And I told you that in Rock Jungle.
Yes,
Remember we
I
did
know,
Faded
but bro, it's Pittsburgh. Everybody hates. Everybody
That's what I
hates.
want to get to.
As much as anything
That's
else,
what I wanna
like, bro,
get to.
I can sit there and say, nobody gave me no pointers how to do none of this shit. Matter of fact, everybody makes it fucking weird.
Hold on, you gotta exclude me out of that. I always fucked with you. You gotta exclude me out of that.
You fucked with me, but you had a lot of other shit going on.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
it's like
true.
I got as much as like talent you have, you weren't really ever focused on the shit. You had a lot going on. You was really in the streets. The whole bunch of shit going on. Like you was really performing with real beef. Like you was doing shit before what Instagram niggas is doing now.
Yes,
crazy.
Yes,
like you
yes,
was doing
yes.
this shit like because you're talking about a
wasn't
whole
rap
bunch of
beef, it
people
was real
earlier
beef.
that was popping before the internet. These young niggas, if they can't see it on the internet, it never happened. It never
Yeah, that's
happened.
a fact.
That's the fact. These kids don't give a fuck. What? Nina Ross? You talking about Rick?
It was
Are you
fun.
talking about Rick Ross? He has a new song called Nina? Like, they're not going to sit there and know about these motherfuckers. And to be honest with you, none of them niggas helped out nobody in the game. Matter of fact, everybody hated on Wiz until Black and Yellow took off and went #1. Let's be honest. That nigga was still living over in West Mifflin. He had an apartment out in L.A. and was still living in West Mifflin. Dropped after his singles deal for saying, yeah, everybody thought the nigga was going to fall off.
Because Pittsburgh is a region of its own. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not South, we're not North, East, West, or Midwest.
Yeah, we're Midwest. We're not even East Coast. We're Midwest. We're an hour away from Ohio.
Man, I will deny any connection to Cleveland every day in my life. I'm not connected to Cleveland any type of way. Cleveland's different. Being that like Pittsburgh is just different, and there's so few niggas that come through. So few. How do a young dude up and coming? How do they get put on?
Well, Animal said it during his live. There's the internet. The internet is the gate.
That is
like you could literally go on the internet and start talking to people that are in other places. You can literally do everything right now from your fingertips before you even leave the house.
It was a little different.
It was way different.
Right.
Nigga, when I made these, I wish I could have went to YouTube and typed in type beat or how to make this type or whatever. You know, right now, you can literally, I tell niggas all the time, like, bro, I learn new shit on YouTube every day. If anything, I'll get a link to a motherfuckers.com and then they'll sit there and start showing me all their tricks. Go look up who mixed the shit. I bet you any money they have some shit on YouTube or somewhere on the internet where they showing you some shit right now. And they do. When I started, nigga, what? Niggas was hiding they fucking NPC cards, all that shit. You couldn't even leave a hard drive open on the computer. Niggas is searching that shit, trying to take drum kits, all that shit. What? A kid now? Like, bro, you got to sit there and find out who's the best in the city when it comes to professionalism. If you want to be like the professionals, there's only few, which is Mac and Wiz. Go through ID Labs. If they're expensive, learn the thing called budget. You budget everything in life. That's not just with beats. You know what I'm saying? There's a nigga right now. It's Ty something. I mixed one of his songs on this project. I met the nigga down there in the summertime because you know why? He was in the studio with B with the Heat, and the nigga was like, "Yo, aren't you Ricky P?" I was over at Will's office. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Ricky P. What's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm over here with B with Heat. I'm blah blah blah." Like, I would like to play you some music, but I gotta go. I was like, what, like your session over? He's like, yeah, I gotta go catch the bus. This nigga saved his bread to make sure he went to ID Labs, recording the damn room, the big room. Oh yeah, no, he was gonna catch that bus and make sure he got there. I gave him my number right then and there. I mixed the song for him for free just because I respect a motherfucker that will go out of their way and budget their life to get their career going. There's so much shit right now that you as a young artist can go do. You don't even have to go talk to these old grumpy old niggas that don't want to show you shit anyway. That's probably outdated. You should be out there helping young niggas, bro. It's offensive. Because it's at a point like, what does your career really do? Like, let's talk about that. We're not talking about accolades. Accolades, he say, she say. That's like Uncle Rico shit from Napoleon Dynamite. Talking about that shit. I'm talking about real stats. If a nigga like me is willing to come back, but what about the niggas that are here on the ground zero? Why aren't niggas helping niggas out? Why isn't their door open? And
Right.
some of these niggas
Right.
are old enough to have kids that are grown, bro. I'm a dad now. My son will sit there and deal with a dad that's going to try to force him to do anything. None of that shit, bro. You're going to not hear a dad tell you you could reach for the stars. Nigga, I never went to space. So I ain't going to tell my son how to go reach for them motherfuckers. Practice makes progression. It will never make perfection. You can sit there and put your life into something, and if you really focus and buckle down, you could go from the diamond building to a diamond motherfucker.
Say that one more time,
Practice makes progression. It doesn't make perfection. You can, as long as you sit there and buckle down and stay down for the come up, you will be blessed. I remember when I didn't have enough money to sit there and buy a fucking MPC. I remember whenever I started out, I had Ep11. Niggas made fun of Fruity Loops. I didn't have enough money to buy a fucking MPC or a Triton. My first Triton was off a crackhead standing outside of the Diamond Building. He wanted $300 for that shit. He was walking out with a brand new Triton. He didn't even know what he had. That bitch was $2,000.
Viewers, if y'all don't know what Diamond Building is, because we have a lot of viewers that's out of town too.
The Diamond Building was the E.V. Bishop Building. It is downtown on 5th Avenue. Okay? They only had lawyers in there. The only other motherfucker in there was James Webb. I don't even know how this nigga got in there, and he showed me how to get in there. Shout out James Webb, finesser of the decade, the century. That nigga, I seen him finesse shit with just like a $50 microphone and some wild ass off-brand ass software, and the shit sound like the nigga recorded it in $1 million studio. This was whenever before Loud Pack and them, they was bullied. There was all types of shit, bro. Like,
hold on. Every look, shout out to Loud Pack, but every fucking building they was ever in, they got kicked out.
Because at the end of the day, like, come on, bro. Like, Pittsburgh is 4% white. So as black folks, we don't really got nowhere to go, and then we really don't know how to have real like type of, we have slaver mentality in Pittsburgh. The Mason-Dixon line is Pennsylvania, bro. That's the North and South. So you drive 40 minutes down the road, you're gonna see Confederate flags. So like black folks is a little different over there. That's why so many people get stuck in the city. They get popping, they do this, and they get a buzz. But why don't you take that buzz somewhere else? You got the internet. You can take that anywhere. We can talk about my past, but right now, nigga, what? Right now, I have a whole studio. This is $100,000 fucking speakers. These are Augsburgers. Met the motherfucker who builds these shit at ID Labs. If you want to learn some shit, go where the niggas that are getting the fucking plaques. You go into ID Labs, they have plaques. Bought those records. That's not he say. That's real life. Like, come on, man. That's just literally only a week long. It's only a week long.
Exactly. That's right.
But you know why niggas ain't buying albums? That's why music sucks. You want to know why movies sucks? They're not buying DVDs. Everybody's sitting over there streaming sites, sharing passwords and shit. Come on now.
Right.
I have a studio. All my clients are corporate clients. Net 30. When niggas got to get the net 30 and have to wait on a label, they get 3 to 6 months legally just to acknowledge your invoice. That's what you got to prepare these little young niggas for. So worrying and tweaking about money and shit, for real, bro, you should be giving these niggas out the beat anyway. Who gives a fuck?
It's not about, because I will give a motherfucker a beat for less than nothing. It's not that. It's the fact of what you're going to do with it, because it's a beneficial
But who's doing what with that beat? Keep it a beat. Not niggas going to go steal it anyway off of YouTube, bro. Like, they're going to go get somebody else's, so might as well be yours. Promotion. If it blow up and, like, nothing really go with it, like, for real, y'all both going to get the look off it. If not, who gives a fuck? Go sell that beat to another motherfucker.
Doing that for 15 years, the niggas was saying I was wrong about.
I learned that from you. But like, I seen H get punched in his face over that shit though, because niggas don't understand. Like, you don't legally own shit, so who gives a fuck? Still got to deal with net 30, bro. So you're still waiting on your money. So you might as well just give this nigga out there the shit. You still there on ground zero. Be over there on the ground zero, because I still do that. What's wrong with that? The hell? Where are the niggas on the front line right now? Who's there? Who's helping out? Those are the people that we should be sitting over there like, yo, what's up? If not, you're part of the problem.
The mentality got to be broken, man. It's already that crab in the bucket. But already there.
When you say that term, why the crabs in the bucket? They shouldn't even be in the bucket. They're a water animal. People that are there right now. Why is Animal not answering? Why is he not helping out the people that are there?
I gotta stop you there. I can only teach who's willing to listen.
So why are you upset about the ones who ain't?
But this is my point. It's not about
You
getting
did. You were
upset. It's
screaming at
more.
your phone. You made a post and then you had to go live about it. You hit that square hard as hell. Come on, bro. Like you can't front that didn't touch a nerve. And that's something that you talk about often.
Yo, it's a form of frustration.
But that's
yes.
because you're in the mix and you could be helping out. But instead, you're talking about a problem that's been long standing because none of these niggas got money anyway. So why are you entertaining the niggas who ain't got money? McDonald's don't care if Ruth Chris is selling a burger for $50. They still gonna get a 2 all beef patty, special sauce, that's cheese, pickles, onion on a sesame seed bun. Still gonna get this $10 burger, nigga. We nobody give a fuck. Every time, bro, I was putting on sessions at ID Labs. Niggas was getting singles, loading up beats, the whole nine. Me engineering, you're in damn room, but I can only be in the city so much. I'm Ricky P.
Right.
I have a studio in Hollywood. Anybody that come out to LA, I just like, bro, I had Hardo in here. I have all types of people, Sticks. Anybody that comes to LA, you can come pull up to the studio. Stunning Two Fly, all types of motherfuckers. Like, I'll sit there and do it for free if necessary. Professional. We ain't talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, starting to get plaques. So, like, when I started getting plaques 8 years ago. So it's like, man, if I'm still putting up stats and helping out, what are the niggas doing on Ground Zero? What are niggas doing on Ground Zero? That's all. I could be in the comment section talking about the shit because it's like, bro, what are the niggas doing at Ground Zero? Nobody's doing much. It upsets me because, like, it reminds me of, like, damn, bro, that's the reason why everybody jaded. Nobody want to help each other out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you hit me up the other day, make some beats. It's like, yo, I'll send you a whole folder, or if you want to sit there and send me loops or whatever the fuck, like, it don't matter. We should be sitting over here. We should make a whole folder and just give it out to niggas in the city. See what they fucking do with it.
We could do that.
Or tell them go to a fucking Dice or go to somebody if somebody's kind of willing to actually help people out. Because, like, bro, call a spade a spade. What is niggas doing with their career with the music?
A lot of them ain't listening, though. A lot of them aren't listening. They're not coming. They're like, man, nigga, you old.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they should. Talk that shit. Because I was a young nigga talking shit. And what did they do? Because are the older niggas helping out? No, they're not. I can understand the young nigga frustration. Because I got a couple young niggas that I try to help out with the music. And when I'm gone, it's hard. Because they got to sit there and risk their life for certain shit. Then niggas just try to sit there and penny pinch or try to sit there and get all this extra money out of motherfucker. It's like, yo, what are they even paying for?
I agree. So for the viewers, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, tell them your struggle that you told me, you know what I'm saying, on what you had to do in order to get where you at now.
My loyalty has put me in a lot of different situations, and my loyalty is to the music. I didn't give a fuck about anything. I started with a lot of people. I started at my homie Nick. His mom let us record in the studio underneath their basement out in Shaler. Owie was the first nigga to let me know my studio was trash. We had a computer, little Focusrite mic, and a little $100 microphone. We had Pro Tools Empower. Just before you couldn't even save a song on that shit. That's how I started off. That nigga came through. I tried to sell him some beats down in the strip. And yeah, Focusrite, bro. I tried to sell him some beats. Right. He was like, oh, I don't know. I'll just come out to your studio. He came out there. He's like, yeah, this shit's kind of trash. But you can come out to my studio session. He was recording with Proc over in the West Side. That's where I met Big Just over at Proc Studio and shit like that. And I started off as a rapper and started booking studio sessions to see how other engineers recorded and how other studios ran because I didn't know. That's how I started off. And then I got a studio down in the Diamond Building, 325 square foot. It was an office, like fucking closet. That shit, I finessed them because I realized I was 19 with no credit, and that's better than having credit. So I got a bigger space. And then that's when I really started like booming and shit like that. But I had that with another artist, E. Dot, and a couple other people. And they really was like, they was only making me be the person to pay for the shit. I got a little job at this night studio. And then next, long story short, we started our own studio on the West Side over McKees Rocks. Had my studio out in McKees Rocks. Working with them motherfuckers, come to find out our little investor was doing pills, doing all this weird shit, took the equipment. I tried to get a studio down in fucking, what's that, down in Lawrenceville, right near ID Labs. Some wild shit happened there, and I couldn't, I had to move there. Like legit, I moved spots, and then like I got out to a spot out in Fox Chapel. Shout out my boy Bob, who RIP my boy Bob. Like I really started booming it out there, and that's whenever like me like that was the first time I ever had a place to like kind of like go. I didn't really have nowhere to go. I was literally bouncing around, and me and my bitch at the time, like we was like beefing, and like she wanted to move out to LA. She moved out here. Funny as hell, bitch moved out here. She was like, it's either like we move or I'm gone, and she left my stupid ass. And I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas in Pittsburgh don't leave. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to go, you better go. Don't listen to a motherfucker in Pittsburgh because you'll get stuck. And she left, and you know, it was like one of those things. I had to get my life in order, and like Wiz gave me an opportunity to go on the road, and like I literally took a pay cut and like took a chance, and I went out to LA, and I legit flew all my equipment out there, bro. And I had $200. It was just like fucking half baked, bro. This was right before Uber. I had to go to Wiz's house. A taxi from the airport to Silver Lake was $80. I had 200. Okay, we're down to 120. First night, I didn't even get I didn't unpack the bag. Like you feel me? Like I was in LA. That's when I realized like, yo, this is like for real.
2012, where there was no
Cash
app,
nigga. There was none of that shit. Like
no Venmo,
none of that. None of that. And I had a Citizens, and you know, Citizens a regional bank. That was the time I just had Citizens, so like my shit was shady. Like it was, my situation was titty as hell. And whenever I was out there, we was out there for a few months, and then we went on the road. And then like I slept on a broken futon couch in the booth of his studio house, bro. And because he only had a 2-bedroom there, and like he had the master bedroom, and then there's like 2 guest rooms, and they're like that was for Will and Nate. So like I had to crash on the couch. Coming from Pittsburgh to LA, you gonna see real money difference. You're gonna see like, yo, everything costs more, everything faster. And like we went on a road. We had 4 days when we got back that he was getting rid of that spot. From then on, I Airbnb'd and motel trapped it. Because I wasn't going back home. You can't leave Pittsburgh and go back. You know why? Because when you go back, that's when bad shit happens to you. Stayed out there. I slept in motels, bro. I slept in cars with my equipment. Shit, I slept over bitches' house. I did all types of shit. I was that nigga slanging dick for a place to stay in LA. The fuck? Like, nigga, what? I was that nigga that they always talk about. This nigga over here broke as hell. Like, yeah, I had a dream, bitch, but fuck it, I ain't have no cash. Like, nobody giving handouts, so I couldn't go back home. My parents didn't believe. Shit, nobody in Pittsburgh, like, you know what I'm saying, was doing what I'm doing. So I had to just keep going. And, like, I earned my way by showing that I could be a team player. If you're a producer or engineer, you got to believe in an artist. You just always want to be the fucking star. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all your engineer or producer, you're not the fucking star, but you're a star player. But, like, yo, you're not the main fixture. A lot of niggas from Pittsburgh have the main character role syndrome. All them niggas want to be the main character too much, not understanding you're not it.
Man, that's true. That's true.
Like
that's
and it happens to a lot of motherfuckers. They
and everything, not just the music,
not just music. That's just a character trait in Pittsburgh. Everybody feel like they that nigga for some reason. Like and it's just like, bro,
everybody's lying.
Bro, if I fart, it's gonna stink. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need my dreads retwisted, nigga. Like, the fuck? Like, we're all humans, bro. Like.
Yeah, hold on. Everybody want to be Mario.
Yeah, nobody want to be Luigi. He got the green cap on. He in the game too. You can play as him, like.
Man, I said forget that, mother.
But you know that's where niggas settle for mediocrity, though. But that's who I can sit there and say, like, well, what did these niggas do for us then? It's like we got to start helping people out, and then we also have to be able to be honest. Because I only have a few hits under my belt when it comes to producing. I've been a part of big songs as an engineer, but for real, as a producer, I make a lot of hard-ass filler. I make a lot of hard-ass album filler. I can give you a lot of my fucking placements, and they're hard album fillers, bro. Why can't I be honest about what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like,
being honest.
Let's be honest. Like, bro, like, I have one at Wiz's hits. Pull up. That's it. Like, all his other ones is like, yo, I got all this smoking shits. Is like, you know, his engineer big shit. Yeah. I did a lot of this shit as an engineer, but nobody give a fuck about the engineer. You're a fucking nerd. Nobody give a fuck about them niggas.
So before we get out of here, Ricky P, you know what I'm saying? What do you have to say to the youth out there? Because this is what we do on our podcast. We say a lot to the youth, and we teach the youth a lot. You know what I mean? Like where I'm at, I have a program where I teach the kids and keep them out of trouble. You can ask Bub. Bub does the same thing. You know what I mean?
That's my job, man. I help guide kids to success. I'm doing
You
my
know,
best out here.
I'm trying to not let them be the Anamnesia of old. You know what I mean? I'm trying to teach them
So
better.
if I can say anything to these kids is, please don't if you're a young black kid, please don't set yourself up for the predecessory things that only a black person is quote unquote able to do. So I say pick those lottery pick things, like try to be a rapper, or try to be a basketball player, or try to be the guys in these professional leagues, because if you're not willing to put in this extra overdrive, you're talking about, like, if you're trying to be a basketball player fighting for the same 100 spots, there's only like 11 roster seats per team type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to pick something, be realistic, be patient. Understand that being smart is better than being you're better off being the lion and the lamb. There's too many motherfuckers from my generation and above that taught hypermasculinity. When I say hypermasculinity, is like, it's to not have the softness to the touch, not to not have like the ease to it. Like I said, you have to be the lion and the lamb, and it's okay to be the lamb because, you know, you're still like a source of food. You're still a source of nourishment. So it's like, you have to literally believe. I was a person who was told you couldn't do it. And quite frankly, anybody would tell you that you're not going to be able to do it because it's your dream. If we all go to sleep, we're all going to have 3 different dreams, bro. It's your...
And I can vouch for him because he came out the same way I did, same opportunities, same
like,
everything.
You know, if you believe and practice makes progression, man. And if you want to get somewhere, just bust your ass. If you're a young male, focus on your craft. We're talking about capitalism. Real men don't see their money until about 45. If you're doing the whole league of capitalism, going to school, all this shit. So focus on that, because by the time you look up in your 30s, that's when all the honeys is going to want you anyway, because that's whenever it happens, you're going to have whatever, all the shit that you're chasing, like the jewelry and all that bullshit. None of that shit matters. Never have I ever been told because of my Rolex, a bitch going to have sex with me or do all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just for another man's satisfactory or somebody else. It's not even for the right thing. And like, you got to focus on your thing. If you're a young woman, I know you see all these girls out here trying to be little hussies, little fat, like, you know what I'm saying, light in the head, fast in the ass. But that don't get you nowhere until you're 30 and burnt out and going to have, like, you know what I'm saying, geriatric pregnancies and all that shit. Nobody wants that. So it's like, literally legit, focus on y'all's bag. If you're a woman, focus on your nourishment. Unfortunately, America's a bunch of propaganda. They're going to tell everybody to live a certain way that's not in your respective bounds. And it's okay to be average. Average is still in the middle, and a lot of us aren't going to be the exception. So it's okay. Live happily. Don't live by your own terms, your own standards, because at the end of the day, everything's subjective unless we start talking about stuff that pays us. And if it's not paying us, don't stress about it, because guess what? They're already poisoning our food, our air, all this shit. Please stay awake, stay woke. Don't let people sit here and tell you otherwise. It's the information era. You're seeing it now with all of our countries. They're going after information. That's the new currency. If you're not going to keep up, then you're going to get left behind. And, you know, the young cats, just stay focused. Like I said, young men, focus. It doesn't make you less of a man if you ain't chasing all the honeys. It's okay. Focus on your career, because there's a lot of jobs out here. Don't let these people lie to you. You don't have to be the rapper. Engineers make great money. You could be a fucking engineer assistant and still get on these plaques, still get certified. You ain't got to be in the office. You could be in the office. You could work in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the homie Seth. I don't know if you remember a cat named Crystal Seth, little white rapper. Well, guess what? He does billing in Universal. Okay. So it's like, you ain't got to always be a rapper. You could go do other shit, bro.
And somebody got to get the money. Somebody got to count the money.
Somebody got to count the money. And guess what? It's a Pittsburgh nigga, bro. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? He started off as a rapper. You don't always have to be the rapper. You could do a lot of things. And guess what? He has a rollie. You can still have a rollie and not have to sell drugs. You don't have to do all that hard thug shit. That don't make you a fucking real man. Because guess what? You're going to do all that hyper If you really that horny young nigga, go beat it, bro. Because guess what? You're going to go out there and thug it. You're going to out there show a nigga you a real nigga. Guess what? You're going to end up upstate and still going to have to beat it anyway. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? The older heads is going to tell us to be all this extra shit. No, I'm going to tell you to be the lamb and the lion, bro. Protect yourself. Don't be a little weak ass, little frail motherfucker. But for real, all that extra shit, we ain't got to be tough. We can sit here and laugh. We can sit here and disagree, but guess what? I can respect you as a man. You can respect me as a man and shit like that. We don't have to sit there and do all the extra because I want to see you win. I don't want to see you stress. Because you know why? Because at the end of the day, like we walk outside, we black.